This next video is about finding the multiplication property of equality, which basically means that when you have an equation and you're trying to solve for a variable, what you can do is, if the variable you're looking to solve is divided by a number or another variable, you can eliminate that variable by multiplying it on both sides. So for example, here I have x divided by 2 equals 20. Now, this is a fraction, and fractions are just another way to say division. So x divided by 2. Well, the opposite of division is multiplication. And remember, your goal in this example is to solve for x. Okay, that's what the directions would say, which means your answer at the end should say x equals a number. Okay, so if you have a variable and it is divided, or in a fraction, there's a number or variable underneath, to isolate, to get that variable alone, you can multiply both sides by the number of the variable that is in the denominator. So this happens to be a 2, x divided by 2. The opposite would be multiply one side by 2, and what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And so I multiply by 2, I multiply by 2. Now, this multiplication by 2, I'm going to write it as a fraction because here there's a fraction. Okay? 2 over 1 is the same as 2. 2 divided by 1. Right? Now, this gives me, to do it a long way, 2x over 2 equals 20 times 2, 40. Now, what is 2 divided by 2? Well, that's 1. 1x equals 40. 1 times x equals 40, therefore x equals 40. Now, we can check this. Let me use a different color. Let's see. So if I were to plug this into the original equation, 40 divided by 2 equals 20. Is that a true statement? If I have 40 cats and I put them into 2 rooms, when I look in each room evenly, right? Put 40 cats evenly into 2 rooms. Am I going to have 20 cats in each room? The answer is yes. 40 divided by 2 is 20, which is equal to 20. So I checked it, and my answer is 20. That is example number 1. Now, this problem is the same, and I'm going to write this a little further down so we don't get confused. Example 2. 1/3 x equals 21. Okay, let me cross this out so we don't get confused. Believe it or not, x divided by 2 equals 20. This piece here is the same thing, 1/3 x. All right, 1/3 times x equals 21. Another way to write 1/3 x equals 21, you can write it as 1 over 3 times x over 1, any number over 1 is the same number or variable, equals 21. X divided by 3 equals 21. This and this mean the same thing. So what are we going to do? Well, let me rewrite this here. We're going to do the same thing. There's a 3 in the denominator, and I'm trying to get this x alone. There's a 3 in the denominator. I want to get the x alone. So what do? Well, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 over 1. And I'm going to do it here too, just so you can see it'll give us the same result. Okay? 3 times 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Let me write the rest. Equals 21 times 3 is 63. 3 divided by 3 is 1. X equals 63. Or what's 1 times x? X equals 63. Now let's see if I get the same answer over here. All right. Let's see. 3 times x, 3x. 1 times 3, 3. Equals 21 times 3 divided by 1. 21 times 3 is 63 divided by 1. Or 3 over 1 is the same thing as 3. 21 times 3, 63. 3 divided by 3 is 1 times x equals 63. 63 divided by 1, 63. X equals 63. Look at that. We got the exact same answer. if we put it back in here, we should get 1/3 times 63 should give us 21. Now let's check that. I'm going to do it in blue. 1/3 times 63 equals 21. Okay, put this over 1. 1 times 63, 63. 3 times 1, 3 equals 21. 63 divided by 3. Now I'm going to do it here on the side. 3 times 2. 3 times 1. Magical number, 21. This is the correct answer. But the most important thing, remember, is that if you're dividing, if the variable is divided by a number or another variable, once we get into more complicated problems, you multiply both sides by that denominator. Good luck.